I'm Bily Foster, and I'm that iPad guy. Called that because I've almost always got an iPad with me, and in some cases, two. Today we're talking about the Microsoft Surface tablet. Okay, obviously, I don't have a Windows Surface tablet in my hand to show you. I went to go get one. I honestly did. I figured I was going to start with the $4.99 Microsoft Surface until I learned that it runs Windows RT. What's Windows RT? Well, that's what I said. And the salesperson, bless her heart for trying, proceeded to explain to me that it's Windows, but it doesn't run any Windows programs, only apps sold in the Windows Store. So I've come to the conclusion that RT stands for Retread. Retread is where you take an old tire and the old tread is buffed away, new rubber tread is applied to the bare casing using specialized machinery. In the case of Windows RT, the old code is stripped away, new code is being applied to the bare casing, or in this case the shell, removing all legacy support. And what that means is while it looks like Windows, and even in some cases it says that it's Windows, at least Internet Explorer did, it is not Windows 8. And if you want to run your legacy software, you're going to need to wait a few months to get Windows Surface Pro. The Windows Surface Pro is going to be a little heavier and a little bulkier and more expensive tablet that'll be released at some point in the future with no price or date given. So I asked, okay, if I wanted to pick up a tablet that I can run my Steam games on, use Photoshop and my web tools, what would it cost me? She then proceeded to lead me to the other side of the store to a Sony touchscreen laptop for $1,800. And I asked, does it fold into a tablet? Well, no, we don't have anything that does that, she replied. Okay, well, thank you for your time, I said as I quickly and quietly jetted out of the store. The only reason I went to a Microsoft store was for the Microsoft Surface. And what I ended up walking away with was a high creep factor. Look, I know the Apple Store can be culty, but the Microsoft Store is corporate culty. It's very creepy. I understand using the same things that work at Apple, but the Microsoft Store is like a bad 100th generation copy of an Apple Store. I've actually avoided the Microsoft Store on purpose because I knew it was going to be bad. I just didn't realize how bad it is. And I'm sure that the people working there are nice enough people, and at least they have jobs, they're working. But the problem is, when I'm at the Apple Store, I genuinely feel that the people there know and use the devices that they're talking about. And when they don't know an answer, they go find somebody who does. I could tell by my conversation with the salesperson that she did not use the Surface beyond the corporate training, and that anything that went outside of those FAQ points that she memorized just did not compute. You see, for me, it takes more than just a person who can spit out canned answers to convince me to purchase a product. It takes someone who actually uses and experiences the device to answer my type of questions. And to be fair, the device did just come out on Friday. However, I got the feeling that as my questions went beyond what she knew, her face had this look like, dude, this is just my job. I've got an iPad at home that I use. While I did see quite a few people at the Microsoft Store, I didn't see a whole lot of people walking out with bags. I assumed that they too were disappointed to learn that the $4.99 tablet that's been all the buzz has only a handful of apps available. And of course the most mentioned one was Netflix. Now I do think, and I see Windows RT as being the future for Microsoft, but of course I thought the same for WebOS. I figured HP had the clout to make it happen, but then it killed it. I'm concerned that Windows RT is going to go the way of WebOS and BlackBerry. Oh, BlackBerry's still around? Well, you get my point. If it doesn't get its app catalog ramped up quickly, and I'm sorry, the salesperson's pitch that thousands of apps are being released each day was just too far-fetched for even a novice to believe. It's going to die a fiery death. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. The Microsoft Surface is the first real exciting thing that I've seen from them since they killed off the Courier tablet. The Courier tablet was a dual screen tablet project that Microsoft was working on pre-iPad. But launching a closed system like this when both Android and iOS are years ahead of the game seems like a really risky investment that I wasn't willing to take right now. Maybe I'm wrong and a flood of apps will come rushing to Windows RT, but to me it's a really telling sign that the only enticing thing that Microsoft has been able to offer users to pick up Windows RT is a free copy of their other flagship product, Office minus Outlook. And I say free minus Outlook because it's the student teacher edition minus Outlook, and in theory means that you can't use it for business without paying more. And the exclusion of Outlook also makes this feel like a product not quite ready for prime time. Now, I personally feel that Microsoft should have held off and released the Surface and the Surface Pro at the same time, because then someone like me would have gone in and gone, oh, okay, I see, well, let me take the Pro. But now, if I'm really interested, which at this point I'm starting not to be, I have to make another trip back to the store. And it would have also given people time to develop those RT apps. Now, my understanding is that these apps are available inside of Windows 8 as well via the Microsoft App Store, and that's the only saving grace to Windows RT. I see the vision of what Microsoft is trying to achieve. They're just stumbling a little bit along the way, which happens anytime you have major change like this. But if they stumble too much, it'll be interesting to see how they correct or change course at this point. They seem really heavily invested in these live tile interfaces. And I keep getting the feeling that the more non-Apple products I touch, the more I end up wanting to get an iPad mini, which I personally hate. I don't like putting all my eggs into one basket, which is why I've got a foot in both iOS and Android. But I'm not ready to hop into Windows RT yet. So that wraps up another episode of That iPad Guy. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, circle me on Google+, and visit thatipadguy.com to subscribe. See you next time.